Hello there, Jocelyn McClellan, and I'm gonna teach you how to do hooded eyes. I have some killer awesome tips and tricks that you probably haven't heard before, so you need to watch this tutorial. You're gonna like it. Using 2 eyeshadows, here we go. Are you ready for this? Okay, I am gonna show you today hooded eyes. I get this all the time, and bless you for bearing with me, and I haven't shown you how to do this yet. So the key with hooded eyes is this, okay? Come in a little closer, bring it in a little bit closer. You want to camouflage all of this. When you leave it white like this, like let's say that this is your look. Do you notice how much pink and purple is kind of showing up in my eyes? And then you'll also notice that you see, especially as we get a stronger hooded eye, that skin hangs over. And when that extra skin hangs over, it shows so much. So we're gonna break this down and I'm gonna show you how to fix this. So the very first color that you wanna grab is going to be something that is a little bit lighter, and she's almost gone, so maybe this camera can show really easily, but this is a color called Stay Golden. I'm using the makeup Seint Beauty. Use whatever you want, but pull a color that is a little bit, that is lighter, okay? I like to call this color more of a transition color. So a lot of times people will start the eye with something super light like this one. And I don't want you to start the eye with something so light, because again, we're trying to camouflage the eye. So here's a tip for you that is huge with your eye primer. Get an eye primer. You might have to try a few different others kinds and test them out, but get an eye primer. And when you have hooded eyes, especially if you have a lot of excess skin, you're going to want to put on your eye primer and keep that eye closed. Now you're gonna start on the lower lid, and you're gonna work your way up into that crease, so it's a very small amount, okay? So already, this is more of like a nude color. Now, what I wanna do is I can't go like this and not get a wrinkle, so I'm gonna close my eyes, and you want that to completely dry. You want your eye to be closed so that there's no wrinkle that the extra skin can go into. So give it a little bit of time, let it dry. Better yet, an amazing fan that you can turn on and get it to dry at that eye, okay? Crazy, I know. So you're going to do that, and then once that is completely dry, and so that it cannot create a crease as easily, that's gonna help you out a ton. So I have a nude color, because what we're doing here is we're pulling out those purple tones that is making, so already that looks a ton better, right? Like this already fixes a lot of things. So if you're someone who doesn't want to wear a lot of eyeshadow, this tip is amazing for you. Here we go. You're gonna grab that Stay Golden color that I have that is a very nude neutral. Now, if you wanna do another color, here's a color called Pup, and you can see the comparison within the two, but Pup is more of a taupe, Stay Golden is more yellow tone. So if you really have a lot of purple tones going on in your eyelid, then Stay Golden is a great choice for you. So I'm gonna show you both. Now, we wanna put on this color and not that white, because the lighter color that's a white color or someone that has more frost, that's actually gonna show that excess skin a lot more. We wanna camouflage that excess skin. So here's a huge tip for you. You are going to take that color that is lighter, and you're gonna go in what I call get out of the hood, because we have hooded eyes, right? When you get out of the hood, you're going outside onto that brow bone. So here's my brow bone. I do want a break between lashes and brow, but it's gonna be this, so this is gonna stay nice and light in color. But I'm gonna point to right here. You wanna get out of the brow bone right into here. Now, we don't want a harsh line. We want something very softened out. So pay close attention right here. You're going to get this out onto the brow bone, and where this color is so more of a nude, but definitely adding color to you, this is gonna help you not get that harsh line. Make sure that you're blending out really well. Here's another tip for you. We should just write all these tips down. Grab a pen. Just kidding, do whatever you want. But here's another tip for you that you wanna remember as well. When you get out of this hood part, you might feel like you're like, oh, I'm out of the hood. But if you're doing it with your eyebrows raised, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm out of that hood. And then you put them down and then you see all that excess skin and you can't really see it. So as you do it, remind yourself to lower your brows. Make them a little bit lower. And then you kind of, please don't squint, but just remembering to lower the brows and getting outside of that hood camouflages those colors. So I'm gonna do Stay Golden on this side. So this one's gonna be a little more yellow tone. So I'm coming down on the lower lid. And again, if you have really wrinkly eyelids, then what you wanna do when you do this is don't be afraid to grab your eye. And truthfully, I do have makeup in this tutorial on my face, but I like to do my eyes before anything else, because no matter if I get fallout from my, let's turn down that phone. Okay, so many calls. In case I get any fallout or I need to touch my face, I'm covered. So get this all really good in there with your eye closed, because sometimes you're like, I always get creases in my eyes. Do you get creases in your eyes? Or did you do your shadow with your eyes open and you didn't realize that when you close your eye, that makeup wasn't getting in that crease? Right? Right? Have you ever paid attention to that? So that actually might be more of the problem than what you're thinking is the problem. So make sure you remember that step. So you can tell that this one has a little bit more yellow tones to it, and this one is a lot more of that nude. Now, this eye on me, one thing you might not know about me, probably not, I actually had to have eye surgery on this eye, so I don't have as many wrinkles up in here as I do on this side. So this side has a lot more excess skin. So when I look at this, I can tell that this Stay Golden color is right in that creasing and right in between those wrinkles. So I need to go outside of that just a bit more. So lowering those brows and getting outside of that just a bit more. See, did you just see my eyebrow go down? We gotta remember that. And if you need to look down a little bit too, whatever you need to do, just make sure you're leaving that gap by the brow. But it helps a ton. Okay, so the next thing that you're gonna do with hooded eyes is you can leave it like this. It already helped mellow out your eyes and camouflage that excess skin. But one other thing that you can do is a lot of times with hooded eyes, we feel that our eyes are getting closed in because that excess skin is really starting to take over and dive its way into our eyes, right? So we're wanting to elongate out here to make it look that our eyes just stretch out. One thing that is not gonna do you any favors is if you do a thick liner, especially mid-eye and over, or a thick liner under your eye. Stop it if you do it. If you need to get out of the habit of doing that, do it like gradually. So you started out with a thicker liner, you're gonna move to a little bit thinner, a little bit thinner, a little bit thinner, so you don't be like, girl, now I look bald. Because you don't want that. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. So that's just an eyeshadow or eyeliner trick that I know will help you. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this here, I'll pull it out here. This really pretty color. This is a color called Kin, and Kin is amazing. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it, not too much, but it's so good. So I'm gonna take Kin, and I'm gonna put Kin, I'm gonna close my eye just a bit because I do have that excess skin, and I'm gonna take Kin on this angle, and I'm just gonna lay it right there, okay? So other eye, this one's a little bit harder, but I'm gonna close my eye a bit, and I'm just gonna lay it right there. So now I have the angles that I want to use to kind of bring this all in together. So now I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna pat. Pitty, pitty, pat, pat. Just pat it on in, okay? And it's gonna come, so it's not going as high as the Stay Golden color, but we're working it in. Already, we're seeing a more finished eye. Oh, looks so good, right? Okay, so we're seeing a more finished eye. Now, if you're like, that's still too much, take this other side and pat. So we're not doing any sweeping, we're just patting. And that patting is making this gradual look, so it's more finished, but it's not strong. It's amazing. And guess what? If you wanna make it stronger, you totally can. You're gonna grab a little more of Stay Golden. I just pressed it in my color. Tap out any excess, especially where your face is already done. And pat. Pat, pat, pat. So I'm getting onto that brow bone just a titch. Look at that. It's amazing. So we already have a more finished, polished eye out on the side. So I'm gonna come in here. Did you notice how I raised my brows and now I just lowered them back down? If you didn't catch that, pay close attention, because you do have to remind yourself to lower the brows, especially with hooded eyes. So if you feel like you're someone who's more in the beginner status of trying to get your makeup on and you feel like you don't know a ton about shadows, remember that we want to camouflage with hooded eyes. So hooded eyes are a lot like a lot of people's, truthfully, they really are. I just explain it a little bit differently. Just a couple key points that you wanna point out, which I feel like a lot of people are missing out on. Okay. So we're evening this out. Again though, close your eye, make sure that it is in those wrinkles and that you haven't missed that step, because a lot of times it does not go into the wrinkles with your eye open. So I wanna close this down just like so. All right, so we're getting a more finished, polished look, and it's camouflaging those wrinkles. The other thing you want to remember is if you do your makeup on this end, it's actually so much harder. Get you a good brush. I love that this is double-ended. This is a killer, oh my gosh, Seint has the most amazing brushes. So good, but you can only get those in the US and Canada. So if you're not in the US and Canada, you can't get them. Same with these eyeshadows actually. For now. Okay, so this comes out here just a little bit and we can easily clean that up. But I wanna add just a bit more right out here. I'm going to use a compact. I'm gonna be real with you. When I first started making tutorials, I felt that I had to be so perfect all the time to like pull up a different mirror or look a little different or not finish it because it took too long. But the trick is fix it. Just do, even in a tutorial. Okay. All right, so I'm only gonna do 2 colors today because I wanna show you how simple it can be. If you want to see a hooded eye tutorial using more eyeshadow colors, then put it in the comments below that you do wanna see that, and I will do more colors next time. But I just wanna bring to you a really good basic look that you can do, okay? All right, so we're gonna roll this in with eyeliner really quick like. So you're gonna take a brush like this. This is called the multitasker brush. This brush right here allows you to use it as a liner or other things. It's a super handy brush. I like to even use it on my lips. I'm gonna pick a darker color, but not black. Here's a color I'm gonna pick for eyeshadows, for eyeliners. This color is called Coal. So with your hooded eyes, again, that excess skin wants to hang over, so we just wanna finish it out. I know that this looks a little wonky right here. I'll address that in a bit, but we're gonna get a little bit on. You can also take a setting spray and spray it just like, seriously, like 1 time to just get it to hold that eyeshadow on there just a bit more. Then you're gonna take it and we're gonna start at the bottom and move up. So it's the bottom here and build it up. So by doing that, we're finishing out that outer corner and we're giving it a lift because your eye wants to droop down with hooded eyes. So we're already, look at the difference in the two. What? It makes such a huge difference, right? So we're already giving the eye a lift. That is your most important part for your eyeshadow the older that we get. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do what's called, I named it this myself, get in the jungle. And the jungle is pretend that your lashes are the trees and you're going to just get it right into those trees. So it's not where you're having to go in the water line where you like look up and stuff, but it's truly where you are hugging into and you're just moving the trees around. You're not cutting them out, you're just moving them around. And you're just wanting to build that up in there, moving those trees around, okay? So I'll come, and then on this inside, I try and come in as close as I can to that skin. The reason why we do this, again, the liner is so thin, but I didn't close my eye. So if you ever are doing this and you close your eye, it's gonna create fallout to get under your eye as an eye, like an eyeliner. So be sure to try and keep your eye open and just looking down just a bit when you do this. And then that makes such a huge difference for you, okay? All right, I'm gonna do this eye really fast. All right, now I just wanna grab my makeup and clean up those lines. This is where it comes in handy to do your makeup after your eyes. So I'm just gonna clean that up. And now I'm gonna curl my lashes. So here's a trick for you when you curl your lashes. This baby, I get it on Amazon. I'll put the link in the bottom, but it is so good. It's silicone up here. It helps it fold over the lash line. So this is the trick that I do. I get it in here really well, okay? And then I grab it and I pull it up. So I don't keep it close to my face. I just give it a little lift. Other eye. And then get that mascara in there. All right, so for lashes, when we have hooded eyes, one thing that might really help you is if you look down and go up, you're getting your eye closer to the skin. So raise your head up and get it under and wiggle and lift. Okay, and then that way you don't get it to the skin. So I'll show you again on this eye. Okay, so we go under, wiggle, and lift. And if you ever get any on your skin, wait for it to dry completely, grab a Q-tip, and then take it off, and it will come right off and not smear. When it smears, you're hosed. All right, okay, we're good to go. This is just the travel size of one of my favorite mascaras, which is a Man-Eater from Tarte. And I'll put the link to that below too. Okay, we are good to go. So that's using 2 colors to have hooded eyes. So whether you're a beginner or whatever, hooded eye looks, it's not much different. It's just putting a little bit emphasis, lowering the brows, getting it out onto the brow, camouflaging that eye. I do want to do something really quick, like you can bring in that lighter color that I talked about not using earlier and kind of plugging it right there if you want to, or skip it or put illuminator. All right, there you go. We're good to go. Okay, if you don't follow me on Instagram, Jocelyn.McClellan, you need to. You really, truly need to. Follow me there. You can get more tips and tricks all the time. And every Tuesday and Thursday on Facebook, I go live and I do makeup tutorials on Tuesday and hair tutorials on Thursday. Go check those out. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Take care. Enjoy those hooded eyes. You can rock them. We'll see ya.